Hey guys, TGKS Productions. So we got some more exciting news from Rockstar Games today regarding the next GTA Online update. I definitely didn't expect this. We got quite a bit of news today, the most that we've received so far in one day. We actually got a short trailer for this update. We have the name of the update, or the name of this heist that we're supposed to be receiving, the Cayo Perico Heist, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And we also got a confirmed release date for this DLC, which is going to be December 15th. So what I'm going to be doing in this video, I'm first going to play the short trailer that we've received. I say short trailer because a lot of trailers we usually receive from Rockstar Games for an update is like usually around a minute. This is only about 25 seconds. So I'm going to play that first. We're going to break it down. And then Rockstar also gave us a few paragraphs on their Rockstar Newswire underneath the trailer that discusses a little bit more in detail what we can expect with this new GTA Online update, the Cayo Perico Heist. So that's sort of the order that we're going to be going in as far as breaking down this new information in this video. All right, so first up here comes the trailer. Let's take a look at it. All right, so now we got to look at the trailer. Let's actually sort of break this down a little bit, see what we can get a little bit more closely. Zoom this a little bit ahead. Okay, so the first sort of, I guess, snapshot you get here is just sort of a beach scene. You got some people here. This looks like an armed guard right here, but these sort of look like almost tourists in a way. So I wouldn't say this is exactly like a military-esque island. I mean, it is supposedly a private island. I don't know if these would be like relatives of the person who owns the island or just simply visitors. Obviously, it's hard to determine, but you can clearly see people laying out here on the beach as well as, like I said, it looks like an armed guard here. Not really sure what these things are here. I guess it's just maybe like sand mounds. I'm not really sure, but definitely suggests some possible tourism. Obviously, some civilians here, nonetheless. Go to the next shot here. This looks like a shot of the compound that we're supposed to be robbing. If you look right here, I believe this was in the teaser yesterday. This sort of had it looked like a very large compound. We had much more of a top-down view of it. You know, this is sort of still an aerial shot, but that was a much more top-down aerial shot that we had yesterday. But this is a colored view, it looks like, of the compound that we're likely going to be robbing. Let's keep moving on here. Can't really see too much here. Too much, I guess, else that we could pick out. Trying to look very closely here, but it just seems like a very huge compound nonetheless. Let's keep moving on. So okay. So right here we have, it looks like sort of, we were look like our camera originally was over here. So this just looks like another section of the compound, sort of an overlook on the ocean. Not really too much, I guess you can gauge here. Maybe a certain access point for all we know, but again, there's not really too much I would say you can get from this. Let's keep moving on here. Now this looks like sort of, we did sort of see this, it looks like yesterday in the teaser, this sort of like farmland. Could be like drugs or something that's being grown here. I believe that if we look at the newswire, which we're going to look at here very shortly, they did mention something about like drugs or drug money. So this could sort of suggest that possibly it has to do with the loot. And we sort of have a communications tower here as well. And then really just get a pretty broad look at the island here. It looks like we might have some people sitting here. I don't know if there's necessarily guards or tourists, but that is very cool. So it just shows how expansive this island really is. It is actually fairly big. I mean, obviously nowhere near the size of Los Santos or the map that we currently have, but this is a fairly large map that we're going to get in this update. Let's keep moving on. Now, I'm not really sure what to make of this. I don't know if it's sort of like some sort of like I don't know, shaded. If you're sitting out in the sun, there's something that uses to shade you, or I don't know, some sort of piece of architecture. I don't really know exactly what this is here. I feel like I may have seen that in Los Santos before, but I'm not gonna really comment too much on that at the moment. Let's keep moving. So here, I guess this actually might be what it was right here. Looks like we have some supplies here, or actually not really supplies. Actually, these are seats and couches, so a little sort of like sit out area. I don't know if this is like right outside the house. Could be an area for guards to be, maybe to keep lookout over here. So maybe, who knows, maybe we can access here as well. Obviously too early to tell, but sort of got a lounge area going on here. I'm not really sure. There's not too much else we can pick out. Yeah, it looks like this is what we saw in the last screenshot. Let's keep moving on here. Okay, this definitely I can see is a possible like access point or exit point. Got a sort of a crane here, and then this might be like this could be a patrol. This could be a patrol and a dinghy here, a guy patrolling. But we got some docks here. I could definitely see this being a possible access or exit point, or both. I think we even have, if I'm not mistaken, there's a sort of another shot of this in the next screenshot here, or next snapshot. So we just get a little more of an aerial view of what we just looked at here. So we got some buildings here, the crane. Obviously not too much we can tell about what's going on here, but this definitely could be an access or a and or both a exit point. And then this looks like the tower we just saw a couple snapshots ago. This looked like the lookout tower we saw in the teaser, so there could be like an armed guy up there, possibly a sniper. Who knows? If we're trading this island, we might have to carefully watch this, because this guy gets sort of whoever's up here is going to get a bird's eye view of everything here. And then let's keep moving on. Now this is very interesting. I want to talk about this here for a minute. So we get this looks like the Nimbus here. That's flying in, and we sort of have, I want to say, the name of the island here. This might actually be Spanish. I'm not really sure what that says here. Bienvenidos Cayo Perico. So anyone who probably speaks Spanish would know what that is. At least I'm assuming that's something in Spanish. But this is obviously looks like the name of the island. Got a new vehicle here, looks like, which we're going to look at a little bit more closely here next. But this is interesting. So we have this Nimbus flying in, and this almost looks like sort of a cutscene. And this is important because this could suggest that we sort of just teleport to this island and we're just sort of in the heist. It may mean that we don't get to free roam it. I talked about this yesterday in the teaser, that it may not be possible to be free roam this island, but it's just specifically for the heist itself. And this possible cutscene here could suggest us sort of flying in on our private jet here. It may not even be us flying in here. This could just be sort of an intro to the island as well. It could be, the private owner himself, because that actually really makes more sense. Because, I mean, we're not probably going to be able to access this island as easily as the owner can. So that must be, considered. So I guess there's still hope to free roam it, but it could just simply be a cutscene here. New vehicle there. Let's keep moving on. This is where you got to be really close, because you start running sort of together here. It almost goes back to the teaser play out. So right here, this is interesting. This looks like that new possible like Humvee or Jeep here. Got a shot of the house here as well. Looks like, or the living quarters we're going to infiltrate. Got another, it looks like, new vehicle here, sort of a hauling truck as well. So that is definitely very interesting. Got a couple new vehicles here. This just looks like a different variation of this vehicle. But two new vehicles looks like here. Got a view, I guess, of the street, driveway. Very large living quarters, very large driveway here. Let's keep moving on. So this looks like sort of in a little bit of like an office area, I guess you could say. I'm assuming whoever owns this living quarters, this is their office. There might be something very valuable that we have to steal in here, maybe some possible loot. So, obviously got some, statues or figures here, I guess you could say. Not really too much I can gauge from this. Got some, I guess, animal heads on the wall here. Got some picture frames, fire going. Got obviously desk and everything. So possibly something we can rob in there. And then this is interesting. So we got a bunch of people, looks like a bunch of tourists or possibly members. I mean, this would be a very large family. This looks like what we got a shot at earlier. This is sort of that like lounging area, if you see here, and sort of these coverings. So it looks like sort of a party going on. And this is actually interesting with the party. I'm going to bring this back in the Newswire next here, because this actually is very interesting with what Rockstar giving us in the Newswire. So let's keep moving on here. Getting close to the end here. Okay, so we got a missile active here, and I'm going to move on because I think you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about here, what this actually is. There's the missiles themselves right here. Got a nice, really close-up view. Reminds me of, at least those look like the missiles. Kind of remind me of what you can see in the bunker property a little bit. And then here, this is getting more interesting here. We got a control room here, and if you play the Bodkin problem, Doomsday Act 2 heist, you probably are getting an idea what this is already. Sort of got a lookout here. And we also got an NPC. It could be an NPC over here. I don't know if that's a player or an NPC. But this is the big indicator right here, a submarine. And I'm not going to comment too much on this because the Newswire that we're going to look at next and break down covers exactly what this is. I mean, obviously, you know it's a submarine, but what part this sort of plays in this new GT Online update. All right, so next and finally in this video, we are going to look at the Newswire here. We have the trailer up above. We have the Cayo Perico Heist coming December 15th to GT Online. So we have the confirmed release date right there, as I stated earlier in the video. So right here it says, it's time to raise the stakes higher than ever before. You've broken a convicted spy at a Bolingbroke Penitentiary. You've saved the world from an egomaniacal tech billionaire. And you've beaten the odds to drain a casino of its cash. This time, you're taking on an entire island. Prepare to infiltrate the remote island compound of the world's most notorious drug dealer in Grand Theft Auto Online's biggest, most daring, and action-packed edition yet, the Cayo Perico Heist. It's confirming the largest update really ever there. It's up to you to find a way to breach Cayo Perico, one of the most secure private islands in the entire world, evade or neutralize the heavily armed security forces stationed there, and escaped with valuable evidence along with as much art, gold, and drug money as you can carry. So I talked about sort of the drugs or the drug money earlier. It just looks like there's drugs on the island. What's very interesting about this, it says it's up to us. Now, Rockstar did say they were going to, back in the Newswire in July, they did say that they were going to take their approach with the Diamond Casino heist, supposedly, and add it to this. So I don't know if this necessarily means that we're going to just, be able to freely take on the island, completely up to us. There might be like multiple approaches. So I'm assuming it's more like that. I still think there's going to be sort of like boundaries. I don't know if, it would be really cool if you could just sort of take it on however you, found fit. It'd be really interesting to see what the outcome would be, but I feel like there could be approaches there. Then we sort of have different loot. It says valuable evidence. That's definitely interesting there. So I don't know if maybe we could like bust this guy or something like that. So that's very interesting. That's interesting. Is choose your tools, choose your approach. So there sort of goes where I was talking about up here, where it's like find a way. I think that it's talking about like a type of approach there, and says choose your crew or even go at it entirely alone, just to make it back to Los Santos in one piece. Now this makes history right here, because this is the fourth kind of heist we've had added in GTA Online over the years, pretty much over the past 5 years, 5.5 years. And this is the first one we can try to do solo. We can try to do this entire heist solo, and it's supposed to be one of the hardest heists that we ever encountered, and we can do it solo. That is just insane. That is definitely be very interesting to try. It says here, the Cayo Perico Heist is the biggest GTA Online adventure ever, introducing an all-new exotic heist location with brand new approach to heist design that features the ability to play everything solo or with up to 3 other players. So that's sort of similar to what we saw at the Diamond Casino heist, with the exception of doing it solo. We've never seen that before with another heist. It says, plus you can acquire new vehicles and tactical weapons, experience new social spaces to dance and party with your friends. So this is interesting here. I want to stop here for a second. It says new social place to dance to your party and your friends. Two things I sort of thought of here. It could maybe be the construction at the Diamond Casino and Resort, although that's sort of seen towards like the waste disposal area, so I don't know if that would really make sense. But we did see construction there. Also, that lounge area that we saw in the trailer, I said I was going to reference back this in the Newswire, that could be possibly one of the dance spaces that we have here. So that's something to consider as well. Moving on here, it says, and new world-class DJs and listen to new radio stations with over 100 new songs. Wow. So it says new radio stations. We've never had more than one radio station added before. We've had 3 radio stations added over the years. We had in Doomsday in 2017, we had the Blonded radio station. In summer 2018, we had LSUR, featured the DJs from the After Hours update. And then this past year in 2019, the Dimesino Heist update, we had the iFruit radio station. With 100 new songs, I want to say there's a little over like 20 radio stations at this point in GT Online. With over 100 new songs, I'd say on average each radio station now has like 20 to 30 songs on it. This could easily be 3, maybe even 4 new radio stations. So that is insane. That definitely is a record breaker there. And it says, and this is probably what everyone was interested in when at the end of the trailer. So, and a very large, very versatile, and very heavily armed submarine HQ with plenty of other surprises. And so we have more details coming as well. So I guess we're going to even get more, possibly even another trailer coming in the future. But our new sort of, I guess, property here, so to say, or HQ, is a submarine. That is crazy. I know a lot of people in the past talked about they always wanted to have an aircraft carrier. Looks like we're getting a submarine. So now it looks like, I'm assuming this is going to spawn in free roam. We'll be able to, it's sort of like a living quarters as well, or like a spawn location. I would assume so, besides it also being sort of a planning place for us, just like the arcade is a planning place, for the Diamond Casino Heist. The facility is a planning place for the Doomsday Heist. Our high-end apartments are a planning place for the original heist released in 2015. This looks like this is going to be the HQ, and like I said, most likely spawn location for this new Cayo Perico Heist. So it looks like now, with having the possibility of 30 yachts in the session, we could possibly also have 30 submarines in the lobby as well. That is crazy. So in any case, guys, a lot of information. I apologize for the length of the video. There was so much to cover that I did not expect them to drop this much information on us the day after just getting a teaser. It just definitely shocked me. But let me know what you guys think about this update. If you saw anything that I may have missed, definitely leave a comment in this video. But as always, guys, please remember to like, subscribe, share this video. As I say, to be sure to comment if you have any questions, you saw anything I missed. And have a great day, guys.